Hello, super friends. I'm Dave, Pappy Popper, if you will. Today, across the table, I invite Kya Vess to discuss her experiences as a woman in Magic the Gathering. As a father with 3 daughters, this topic becomes important to me as we look ahead. I ask my audience to consider this ongoing interview series like a time capsule. Where have we been? Where are we now? And hopefully, where are we going to be a more inclusive, safe, and successful gaming community? Won't you please join us? Hello, Kya, and thank you for agreeing to do this interview. Tell me about what first drew you into playing Magic the Gathering.
So I originally played lightly when I was younger, here and there with my friends. We normally played kitchen Magic and standard. However, the final push for me was my then boyfriend and his group of friends that were always playing. Everyone in my location and age group only played EDH, so that's how my journey began. I remember dropping quite a bit of money the first few months.
Beyond deck building or competitions, what other aspects do you enjoy about our hobby?
The face-to-face interaction for the most part. It was a great way to get out of the house and enjoy one another's time. It was like going to a bar but without the drinking. Also, because the nature of EDH, you can also be as intensely focused or as laid back as you want to be.
From whom do you draw inspiration and why?
That's a hard question to answer. There really isn't as many people who do what I do in terms of 3D printing for MTG, at least not known. If anything, it was because of this I started tinkering away with my MTG projects. No one else was getting it done and it drove me nuts. In regards to EDH, the only name I knew about starting out was Rachel because of her articles. I will admit it was really nice to know that I was not the only girl playing sometimes. As far as the idea of inspiring figures in general though, I might be crazy, but most of my motivation in general comes from what I want for myself. I think that inner drive of always trying to level up in any aspect of life will get you to complete far more things than watching others. At the end of the day, if you don't make yourself things, then no one else is.
Please describe an important challenge you face as a woman in Magic the Gathering, and what, if anything, could have helped you become more successful in meeting this obstacle.
I think the biggest frustration I've had overall is people attempting to bend the rules or flat out cheat because they assumed I didn't know the rules when I was playing. This comes up whenever I join a large event. As someone who can be a bit shy, it's difficult to find the motivation to argue with people over it. This adds another plus to EDH though, because there's always 2 people to check on the rules if that happens. I will say though, the biggest way I overcame a lot of the issues I had, either it be the flirting or the rules bullying, things like that, was changing the way I responded to it. Being in control of the flow of any conversation or situation will reduce these problems as they arise. Everyone always talks about how these situations should never come up, but it's always a shame that we never talk about how to respond to these situations, because life became a lot easier for me once I did. Humor became a very powerful tool for me as it removes any unwanted advances without creating any conflict.
Imagine you have specific influence at Wizards of the Coast. What would you do to empower a safe, a welcoming, and more successful gaming environment?
I'm not sure what Wizards as a company can do without creating abusable rules about a social interaction in these type of settings. One helpful solution, at least in a local setting, that comes to mind, judges hovering around a little more would probably help. I can't tell you how many times I've seen judges just relaxing near the counter or doing their own thing instead of staying active or near the players. I don't expect a judge to catch every snide remark or awkward encounter, but you can tell when tensions rises between people just by being near.
Thank you, Kya, for your time and advice about feeling more safe, wanted, and successful while playing Magic the Gathering. Links to her social media can be found in the video description below. If you enjoy these interviews or family-friendly Pauper content, please consider watching another video or subscribing. Until next time, this is Dave, Pappy Pauper, encouraging you to be uncommonly magical.